this time we gon' really do it, seek a better way.
I'm King George. I'm the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. I'm here with a special brother. He got a crazy story to tell. He also is a published book author. This brother is also incarcerated, and this brother is looking forward to being out of that position. So as we get into this interview, let's just speak on all the things with Brother Avery Brown, and let's introduce Brother Avery Brown.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother? How you feel, man?
I'm alright. Yourself?
Man, everything is well. Everything is well. So man, I want to dive straight into your story. So, how was it like growing up? What made you make certain decisions growing up that you feel like that may have affected you?
Well, let me think. Unfortunately, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, West Bushwick area, the B.L.A.C.K. I came out like in the early 80s. I was running around like 85, 86, 87 when I actually came out the house.
Okay.
I started running around the streets. And I guess it was just the typical upbringing, a product of my environment. You know what I mean? Growing up young in the streets, wanting to be known, wanting to be wild, and just following the elder brothers, what they was doing and trying to run behind them. Which is kind of funny because I grew up with both parents in the house, mother and father, both still married, 48 years, happily together to this day.
Okay.
But I just guess I was just attracted by that street life, clothes, jewelry, and girls, and that's what I chased.
Absolutely. And what was it like growing up on New York streets?
Let me think. Growing up, I grew up in the mid '80s, like when it was really crazy. I grew up in the middle of like Sumner Projects, Marcy Projects, Tompkins, Bushwick Projects, Macon Projects, Williamsburg Projects. So that was the nucleus that I was in the center of. So I grew up around a lot of famous household names, and it was just wild, coming up, just, maybe stealing cars and running out of Macy's and, stuff like that, going downtown Brooklyn, boosting, just trying to be fresh, going to school with the new Timberlands or the new polo shirt or the new jacket. So opportunities at those young ages wasn't really prevalent in my neighborhood. So, unfortunately, we had to turn to the streets and be that was selling drugs, robbing, sticking up or what have you.
Yeah.
I was pretty much into all things at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did the streets affect your way of thinking?
Oh man, I would kind of say it kind of made me like predatorial to the degree that I really didn't care about where the dollar came from. I was just out there trying to hustle and just put things together. I had a child at an early age. I had my son when I was 15, going on 16, so I had to provide. I worked with my father for a while, installing cable, but that didn't last too long. And I just unfortunately kept getting caught up and getting caught in trouble and things like that.
Yeah, I hear that, brother. I hear that. And now I know that you are incarcerated, right?
Yes.
Now, do you mind if we get into some questions about just the basis of your case? You don't have to go deep into it, just the basis of it.
Yeah, sure, that's no problem.
So, how long have you been incarcerated? What are you incarcerated for? And do you believe that you are innocent, brother?
Oh, well, first and foremost, I'm completely innocent. I'm beyond all doubt innocent, and that's a problem I'm hoping is about to be rectified in the near future. I'm actually locked up in Georgia. I got arrested in Gwinnett County for armed robbery, felony murder, and malice murder, and I was unjustly convicted due to the fact that I refused to implicate the guy that they actually wanted for this crime. And being that I refused to do that because I had to think about the welfare of myself and my family, the detectives over my case chose to give me the case, knowing that I was the person they wanted.
Wow. And that's when you talk about corruption in the system.
Yeah, I was convicted of a case with no eyewitnesses, no statements, no co-defendants, no physical evidence, no nothing. Even talking to a victim that said I wasn't involved, and they still pushed ahead and convicted me of this case because I refused to implicate the man that they wanted for the case because I had to think about my family and myself.
Absolutely, brother. You gotta always protect your family, but that's when you're talking about corruption in the system, man.
Exactly.
Corruption is
Exactly. Georgia's very, very biased. I mean, I've actually did a research, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but Georgia actually has the highest arrest rate in the world. Now, and I say specifically, I'm not talking about in the country. The state of Georgia has the highest arrest rate in the world.
Wow. And just being incarcerated just in Georgia, right? How was the brothers treated in prison?
Man, this is just a human warehouse. I mean, there's no programs, there's no type of beneficial education, there's no type of rehabilitation programs to take. I mean, you just really being housed in the warehouse. That's really all you are, like walking zombies in here.
Okay.
I mean, for few brothers like myself that go to the law library trying to find justice and get some type of reprieve from the time, but aside from that, I mean, they just store you here.
Absolutely, and most importantly, how are you treated in jail from both other inmates and guards?
Pretty much, I stay out the way. I'm a person of a pretty reputable reputation. I mean, I stay out the way, but at the same time, I'm not taking any nonsense from anybody, inmate or officers. So, I don't look for trouble, but in a place like this, trouble often tends to find you. So I just deal with it as it comes.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Now, let's get into something more on the positive side, brother, because I know that you are. Well, I know that even with that positive come some trials and tribulations. So I know that you are a published book author, and congratulations to you on that, brother.
Thank you.
What was that journey like writing that book, and how was you able to write this book and get it out?
Well, I've been down 17 years, and unfortunately, I spent a considerable amount of time with that on key block, which is the equivalent of solitary confinement, which is not a problem for me because I'm good in my solitude. But the book came about actually because a dear friend of mine, was like a brother by the name of S.I. T.Y.I Garland, to be exact, from Staten Island.
Okay.
He got murdered by the police, and he was a dear friend of mine, and we grew up together. We met back in the days, like in 84, 85, in the Staten Island, in a group home called Mount Loretta, and we just always stayed in touch with each other, maintained contact, looked out for each other, what the situation was, and unfortunately, he died at the hands of the police. Now, but before he passed away, he had actually written a book called The Treyway.
Wow.
And in his book, he shouted me out in his book, right? So, being that he passed away, I felt that I wanted to pay some type of homage to him and his passing, so I decided to write a book on my own. Okay. Now, is this book is it based on true events? Is it a shaping of his life, or is it or does it have some shaping of your life in this book also? Well, look, let's say this book is like I would say neither, because it's not based on his life per se as in the person. It's not based on my life per se as in me, but it's based off maybe more ideologies we believe in as far as fighting against oppression.
Okay.
This book is actually not to cut you off, is dual creation, because like I wrote it in remembrance of him, because I wanted his name to live on. Like I said, he was a very prominent brother from Staten Island.
Yes.
S.I. T.Y.I Garland, and I want people to actually know his name but know about him when they hear about him. But the book in and of itself is actually a fictionary tale that I actually put out because I also got tired of seeing books like Game of Thrones, The Hunger Game, Harry Potter, Twilight, which are all great books. I read them all. They were all great books, and they all went on to become great movies. However, they lacked any real black or brown representation.
Yes.
So that was another reason I wrote this book, because I wanted people to see that, all right, I'm a black author, and I can write some amazing fantasy that matches, if not even surpasses, that of Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and the Twilight.
Yes.
As far as my reviews go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I see that you've been striving and really pushing this book, man. I've been seeing a lot of people, just on the page that I checked out, they really support the book.
Yes. I mean, it's being well received. Unfortunately, for some reason, even though this is a fantasy book, a total fantasy and fiction with magic and all that type of stuff, Georgia Department of Corrections refused to allow the book in. Or even though they'll still let Harry Potter in, and they'll let Game of Thrones in, and the Hunger Game in, and this is a book in the same genre as that.
Wow. And why you feel as though personally, why you feel as though the other side of the system is not letting your book get into the prison to inspire brothers?
I mean, I don't know, because that's what I wrote it too. That, you know, the triple forward was for inspiration. I mean, I really can't tell you. I mean, like I said, I'm a person of notoriety. I will admit that, but you know, not to any doing of my own. I mean, you know, people talk. I'm just a good dude. You know what I mean? So, but I really couldn't tell. Maybe I don't know. There's no manifesto or anything in it. It's just a fantasy book, and I just want to show brothers what you can do with your mind when you sit down and really apply your thoughts.
Absolutely, man. And that's and right there, I see some more corruption. Them not allowing your book to be inside prisons, man. That's ridiculous. And you in there.
Yeah.
So that's another fight, brother. That's another fight. Now, I want to know, what's your side on oppression? How do you feel? Because I know that you come from a certain section. You believe in something. You may believe in something different than me. I want to know, what's your take on oppression?
Well, my take on oppression is when you have a higher power, let's say, or a higher authority, and they go above and beyond. They go above and beyond to constantly subdue you and beat you down and drain you when it's not even necessary. Whereas I'm just a figurative speaker. Like I say, okay, if you were to be getting arrested, all right, we understand that they're going to throw the handcuffs on you. But okay, is it necessary to throw the handcuffs on me, beat me in the head with the billy club, and tase me?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see is oppression. Like when you go above and beyond the characterized or the specific duties of what you're supposed to be imposing.
Yes. Now I know that this is another question. How important was the Black Panther Party coming up? How important was that party, and why is that party still needed today?
Okay, let me think. The Black Panther Party, I mean, it was very important because I think that gave us a sense of entitlement. That gave us a sense of entitlement of knowing who we were, that we were black and we were proud, and that we come from royalty and greatness. Like it would just be the equivalent of like I said, and I wouldn't say the Ku Klux Klan because that was based on evilness and torture, wickedry, and murder. Yes. But I would say the Black Panther Party was like a sense of self-pride. Just something to feel good about ourselves and not believe in the narrative that was being projected back then, that we were just druggies and robbers and swindlers and pimps and stuff like that. And it would just give us a sense to hold our heads up high, you know what I'm saying, just like, you know, like all these other races, like the Asians or the whites or the Chinese or what have you.
Yes. And now I do got a question to ask. I know it's a personal question, so it's more like and there's no disrespect either. Are you a Christian brother? Are you a Muslim brother?
Oh no, I'm spiritual, brother.
Okay, no problem.
African ritualism, which is titled by Congo Mayombe.
Okay.
Paulo Mayombe.
Okay. So is it more like what, Pan-Africanism somewhat?
Nah, it's a little deeper than that. Let me think now. As I've come to realize, E5's become pretty commercialized. I would say what I do is the building blocks of E5. If you're familiar with that. Okay, I gotta look into that. Yeah, it's the practice of just really understanding yourself and evolving to your higher conscious within yourself, and kicking it with your ancestors and your generations that have passed on, and just receiving blessings and communications from them and guidance. You know what I'm saying? To just stay in a positive and light path of light. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And understanding.
Yes, absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. Now I know you are a brother from New York, right? And
right.
How important was Malcolm X for the culture?
Man, Malcolm X is immensely important. And it's funny that you asked me that because they just had it was like I said, I'm down here in Georgia, right? And
yeah,
I'm actually surrounded by brothers that is actually 25, 18. Like I can't say maybe the oldest might have been 30. And I actually showed them pictures of Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Medgar Evers.
Wow.
And they didn't even know who he was.
Wow.
My face.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, it really was like a hurt feeling, like to see. I just turned 50 about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right, but I was raised in a household where I was very culturally aware of my history, culturally aware of my background. My parents were from Charleston, South Carolina, so we were very steeped in where we came from. They dealt with a lot of oppression and racism growing up in the South, the deep South of Charleston.
Yes.
So, they raised me with that awareness to always hold your head up, don't never cower, don't let nobody speak to you any kind of way. But I say that to say that, a lot of these brothers I'm around with down here that I've come in contact with, like, they have no real awareness of culture, of self-culture, black awareness. It is just astounding than being down here in the South and they just look just blind like that.
Yes.
Like I'm in a situation where I might be in a situation where you might have a cell block with 10 or 20 guys with life sentences. And they'll get up every day and watch TV or go play basketball or play cards and walk right past the law library like it doesn't exist.
Wow.
And I asked one brother one day, like, a young boy, he was like 18, 19. I was like, how much time you got? He's like, I got 30 years. And I said, yo, why you never go to the law library? He's like, I'm going to just do the time. And I was like, yo, you just comfortable doing 30 years?
And not learning nothing?
Yeah, like I'm like the social dysfunction is just that stoked that you just comfortable doing 30 years in prison without even attempting to go to the law library when the answer to get your freedom could be in there.
Absolutely.
So that's the mentality.
Absolutely, man. And it's a shame, right? It's really a shame to see a lot of our young brothers like that. Cause just recently, coming from being a behavioral health specialist, and not only that, just working with the youth, man. I've seen a lot of that within our young youth, man. They don't want to read. They don't want to think about nothing good. And I'm like, yo, what about something positive?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So the time, how were you able to serve the 17 years that you have recently served? What helped you get through that? Besides you writing your book, what else helped you get through that every day?
I mean, the writing just came about in the last 5 years, but before that, man, I'm a workout fanatic, man. I'm very spiritual. I meditate twice a day. Meditation is a very, very big part of my life, because that allows me, like I said, to delve into my higher consciousness and just to get away from the stress. I read. I'm an avid reader. I have a voracious appetite when it comes to reading and learning, understanding, and watching the news. And I try to go around and help some of these brothers, man, and kick it with them and stay out of trouble. Like I'm kind of like become like a father figure to a lot of these brothers. I try to guide them in the right direction, those that want to be guided. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
I mean, the time is really nothing because I'm a soldier. At the end of the day, I'm a soldier. I'm always going to be a soldier. I can't be broken. The only way forward is through for me. So, that being said, I'm always going to go forward. But like I said, I stay up. I'm in good spirits. I'm a lucid dreamer. I kick it with my ancestors. I try to never be idle. And I know that my time of liberation is coming.
Yes, absolutely, brother. And we here for it, brother. Black 31, though, that's what we here for. We here for that. We really want to see all our brothers on the streets, doing something positive for the youth and just for themselves and for the people. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. And that's why we decided to even take this interview, even to get into your story and get into what you exactly do, because we need brothers out that's mentally strong, out of prison, just like yourself.
Right, yeah, and that's. I mean, I know I'm gonna get out of there, but that's what I really want to do because I see the news, man, and it's bad. I mean, it's bad. I'm not gonna say I was an angel. I was part of a gang at one time, the Blood Gang, and I became a very prominent member in that. And I see that, now that I've gotten away from that, I see that the impact that's having on our younger generations, man. It's just 12, 13, 14 coming to for murders, and it's just ridiculous. I really want to get out there and talk to these kids because where I'm at now, I talk to a lot of brothers. I maintain a level of civility around them where they don't hate each other. It's a shame that we just can actually look at another brother that's the same skin color of mine and not even know him from the campaign, but just because he represents something culturally different than what I believe will represent, I'm ready to kill him or take his life. And life is precious, it's a gift. And I think that's something that's been lost upon us, man. That's why we're so quick to take it. You know what I mean? So I really got to get out there and help these kids and show them that, man, that's not the way at all.
Absolutely. And from your past, what made you even go in that direction of once being a part of a gang, of once being a part of it, years ago? What made you be a part of it?
Oh man, I gotta say, it would be oppression at that time. I was on Rikers Island, and it was kind of crazy on Rikers Island. The brothers, we was outnumbered by the Hispanics, so we had to bond together. So a couple of brothers came together, and and put the blood movement together. You know what I mean? And that was really just for protection against the other rival groups, which was mostly like the Hispanics, like the Latin Kings and that guys,
yes,
Dominican power. So we had to stick together. So at this time back then, you had a couple of brothers, just to name a few, like Shaquille, Deadeye, C.K, Gambino, Mark Cross, Camp, Black O'Macko, you know what I'm saying? Powerful. They came together and was like, yo, we're going to form the Top Guns and we're going to form this movement to just, protect ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And strengthen ourselves. Well, we're not going to be oppressed by these officers. We're not going to be oppressed by these Latin communities. We're going to get the same respect that they get in the prisons.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That was the premise of why I actually joined the gang.
Absolutely. Wow. Now, it's crazy that you said that, right? Because I want to get into like more of like, because I know you love hip hop. Everybody a fan of hip hop, right? So,
right.
Were you a big fan of Tupac Shakur?
Yeah, definitely. I would say. Let me correct that. If I was so much a fan of his music, I was a fan of his character because he was a soldier.
Okay, absolutely.
And I crossed his path once or twice, and he actually stood on what he rapped about.
Absolutely. Now, as for the New York style of rap, right? Just being from New York, right?
Right.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I love so many different rappers. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a hip hop head, but I'm a young boy too. I haven't really met a lot of these cats. I'm 32 years old, so I haven't really met people like Nas. You know what I mean? That's another big artist that's huge that I love. Just certain educated brothers like Guru.
Right.
Feel me?
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Guru. Big was heavy. That's
my boy. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Big was always heavy. Everybody loved Big. We all love Big.
Once or twice.
LOX is always. That's always the family, bro. That's always love. LOX. Dipset. That's another crew that people like. My cousin a big fan of Dipset. Dipset is cool. Dipset is cool. Dipset is cool. I mean, they cool. But I like more of the older groups, a little bit more like Wu-Tang and all that stuff. Did you ever get a chance to meet any brothers from Wu-Tang?
Yeah. I hung out with Ghostface Killer a few times. I crossed paths with Raekwon once or twice. Met the man, you know what I mean? I came up in the era actually of like Cool G Rap, Rakim.
Cool G,
you know yes. The Melly Mel, but I go back as far as the Furious 5, the Fantastic Four, Rita Romantic, Fantastic, Cruising on the Love Boat, Watching the Atlantic. I came up like with the nucleus of hip hop when it started. DJ Red Alert on Saturdays, and we up in the room watching, listening for the for the new songs that came out, and breakdancing and stuff like that. So I was like born and emerged in the birth of hip hop.
Absolutely. And and it's crazy that you say Cool G, because Cool G been doing a lot of stuff in Philly recently. I ain't gonna front. Him and Schoolie D. Schoolie. How did that era of Rakim, how you feel about that era of Rakim and Big Daddy Kane?
Oh man, I mean the Rakim and Big Daddy Kane. I mean that was big because at that time there were two big names. You know what I mean? Big Daddy Kane being from Brooklyn, Rakim being from Long Island, but hanging out with a lot of Brooklyn brothers. I had the opportunity to meet him twice. Mm-hmm. Once in a project event, then once at the law school. And that was big because they was actually the voices of that era right there at that time. They actually was like if you would say the verbal molders of the time, because what they rapped about is what you wanted to physically emulate what they were saying. You know what I mean? Wearing the jewelry and wearing the MC jackets and the Timberlands, and you know what I'm saying? They actually sketched out the era with their raps. You know what I mean? So that was pretty big. Not to forget KRS-One, because he was a part of that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and now that music have influenced you as a young child, right?
Right.
Now, Now, what was it like influencing you? How did it impact you per se?
Well, let's say that might be pretty ambiguous because it was several different levels. Because you had Rakim, he was a very enlightening brother. You know what I'm saying? He dealt with the 5% nature, so a lot of his raps were they were street, but they was also laced with a lot of knowledge of self.
Yes,
a lot about the self.
Absolutely.
And Big Daddy Kane was more rap, but he was also 5% nature. He rapped a lot about self-enlightenment, but at the same time, he was into the fashion and being fly. So that was like his swag. You know what I'm saying? And then you had KRS-One, which was the teacher. His rap was talking about enlightenment and real hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, all of that era, each rapper that era brought a different level of influence to the era, depending on what you were influenced by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, cause I know just writing wise, and to like get back into the book, right, of Blood Sagas. I know like everything in your life have somewhat inspired you to write that book. Like, right. I know you might hear certain rhythms in your head that made you write something down in your book. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
The writing journey, man. The writing journey. I know it's tough. You said the past 5 years, right?
Right.
Did you spend a lot of time alone while you was writing that book?
About the whole 5 years.
Like, what would you inspired by? Would you just sitting back, just thinking?
Like I said, the book. Like I said, once you read the book, you see. I mean, from the plot, from the characters to the vernacular to the dialogue, you know what I'm saying, to the actual etiquette of the book, it's all different. And I was inspired. Like I said, I was inspired and I was motivated. Like I said, the other books that I was seeing around that was getting critical acclaim. Like I said, the Game of Thrones, the Hunger Games, and the Twilight. And I read all these books, and they were all great books. But however, there was no black representation. And then the black representation that was in the book, I felt didn't meet the level of etiquette that it should have. So I felt like, okay, let me write a fantasy book using black mannerisms and black etiquettes on how we act and how we talk, as opposed to a white author. Not that there's anything wrong with white authors, but a white author can only write like a white author. He can't write for a black person. I'm just saying he can't write our mannerisms and our etiquette and how we talk and how we kick it in our vernacular. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not that. But like me trying to write as a white man, I couldn't do that because I'm black. I didn't see the things he's seen. He didn't see the things I've seen. So I said, let me write this book and let people see, all right, here's a fantasy with some black characters from a black author. Let me show the narrative of our vernacular and our swag, the way we kick it, as opposed to the perception of another race writing on how they think we kick it.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, brother. And the people also want to know, right? People also want to know, why was your choice? Why did you have a choice? Well, let me rephrase that. Why did you choose Black 31 magazine to represent your story?
Man, because I heard about it, and I've been getting told about it, and my wife came to visit me not too long ago, and my daughter, they follow you, and they like it, and I was just trying to look for the proper platform that I really thought would get my point across, and she was like, yo, this might be the one for us, I look at that like, you don't even hear about the Ebonies and the Jets and the S's with the magazines I came up on.
Absolutely.
So I feel like, this would be the one for me, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, because, absolutely, it's crazy that you say that, right? Because I always told people, that's why I created this magazine. I was inspired by Jet magazine, and I told people, I said, yo, we don't have Jet magazine no more. I was like, something that was for the essence from the people. I'm like, they turned all our magazines down, and there's no disrespect, but I got to keep it real. They turned all our magazines to gayland.
Wow, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it's like, no, that's not what our people represent. Our people don't represent homosexuality. We represent strength.
Yeah, exactly. But you gotta see if you follow the trends, like I said, I've been going for a while. But just from what I see on TV and I hear on the radio, you see that's what's being perpetuated. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, and a lot of people fall into this stereotype or this belief of the stereotype. And then as it is now, you got even the rappers, and they got a big role to play in this. And I don't think they're aware of it because they perpetuate the stereotype too. Because as it is now, they want the black women to be whores and they want the black men to be homos.
Absolutely. And that's why I built this platform, man. I just want people to be truthful, because I got people who support me now. I got followers who support me now who are homosexuals, who actually got on my live and said, brother, you are right. Exactly what you're saying, because I hate how they just throwing it on children. because they just forcing it onto the children. Children like 3-4 years old, they being forced onto it through cartoons.
I mean, but you gotta look at it. You know, the powers that be, and I don't know who the powers that be are. I don't know whether they're white, Caucasian, or Asian, Eurasian, or whatever. But the powers that be, you gotta see this is all systematically, subliminally perpetuating the plan. Like I said, if you really pay attention, it's just getting younger and younger. Now they see through the music, they can subliminally program us at a younger age. Because you know, I was watching news the other day. I forgot what channel I was watching. You had like a whole locker room full of football players singing "Sexy Red," talking about my booty hole brown and my pussy pink. And these are football players in high school. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
That's wild.
And then even go further than that, you got little girls that might be 3-4 years old that are twerking off. Have a twerk off concept. So that's just going to show you that they're ready to reprogram the parents. The parents are programming the children, and the children are going to be pre-programmed to train their children. So I mean, like I said, we really got to step out of this. We really need a serious reset. And a lot of these rappers, I know they do it for money. They got fantasy support, so they're going to rap about it. But we really need to start being more conscious of what we starting to let our children and our people ingest mentally. Because that's what the problem is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm 50. But when I was 5 years old, 10 years old, I was thinking about Atari and G.I. Joe, man. I wasn't thinking about twerking and fucking chicks and all that. But I mean, unfortunately, that's now because you got the internet, you got these phones, and these kids can get a phone and they can learn something at 5, 6, 7 years old that 20 years ago they would have learned until they was 18, 19, 20, or above age to learn.
Yep. And all this influence, man, in these crucial times, man. I just feel like the devil's influence been running wild throughout the cities, man.
Yeah. You know, like I said, I don't know what the problems to be, but I mean, just read it between the lines. Like I said, it's systematic and it's planned because nowadays you got kids that might be 13, 14 years old running around with military grade weapons. We're not making these weapons. We're not making no AK-47s and no ARs and no Bushmasters. Putting no switches on them. So that's coming from somewhere. So, you know, you got to get to the root of that, you know, and then you get to the root of that, you find out what the root it is. They, you know, they're trying to just get us to depopulate ourselves. Either we'll get killed off, go to jail, get drugged out, die off of disease, or, you know, fade to black, or just become non-consequential. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yep. And you speaking on the same things that groups like NWA was talking about.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to shut them down.
Yep. Absolutely, man. And reprogramming, reconstruction. What will it take? What will it take to have our communities in a better place?
Man, we're gonna have to really sit down, man. We're gonna have to really take. I mean, at this point, we can't be blaming every race for it now because now we all adults. We've been hearing that for the last 20, 30 years. We just got to reset ourselves. We got to come amongst ourselves and reset ourselves. You know, we got to stop hating each other, start loving each other, start understanding each other. Because we all went through the same plight. We all went through the same struggles, and we know the struggle. But the thing is now, you know, people are being taught to turn the struggles toward each other as opposed to where the attention to fight struggle really belongs. So, like I said, it's going to take a serious reset, man. We got to get a hold of these babies, man. That's why I really want to get out so I can start teaching these babies. You know, right from wrong. Killing is definitely out of the order. Violence is definitely out of order. We don't come from that. That was something that was learned in us, infested in us through our slavery. But, you know, we got to get away from that.
Absolutely, brother. I love it. And then y'all hear that, people. Y'all hearing that from a brother that's incarcerated now, but he's speaking on so many different strengthening ways to help our communities. And before we wrap up, brother, I just want to know, I ask every guest this that come on the show, whether it's recorded or whether it's visual or recorded. I always ask, whether male or female, what inspiring thing do you have to say to young brothers, right, who are incarcerated or on the streets? What inspiring thing do you have to say to help them grow throughout this time? What's all the significant thing that they must do to stay out of prison or to just stay grounded if they are in prison?
Man, I'm gonna say it like this. For me, just speaking for myself, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I say this, even if you're out there in the streets and you want to do some type of negativity, at the same time you want to do some type of positivity. We gotta stop letting the negativity overrule us. If you think something's positive, but if you know something's positive, no matter how much of a long shot it is, you gotta try it. I don't care if it's writing a book, or being a rapper, or playing basketball, or playing tennis, or being a boxer, or being a singer. or what have you. Everybody has a spark of positivity, has a positive idea that they want to enact. You got to stop letting it be drowned out by the quick money and the negativity and go after your positive dream. That's what we're going wrong at. People are not chasing their positive dreams because the negative dream is so much easier to obtain. But the thing about it is the negative dream does not last. So I don't care what it is. Everybody has something that they want to do. Stop doubting yourself. Once you believe in yourself, you got to relieve your mind of all doubt and go forward with it and try it out, man. Believe me, it'll work more times than not.
Respect, brother. Listen, I appreciate you so much. Brother, where can the people find you at?
You can find me on my website, bloodsuckers.com. I got my people. They run my website. They run my IG, which is the Blood Sagas on Instagram, or Google, and I'm about to be trying to start this Scared Straight program for the state of Georgia to try to help some of these youth. But as of right now, you can find me on bloodsaga.com. You can send me your questions there. You know, whenever my people get it to me, write to me, I'll write back. I'll answer all your questions and stuff like that. But you know, that's where I'm at, man.
Absolutely, brother. Listen, man, I thank you so much for allowing us to interview you and to be a part of your journey. So, people, do not forget bloodsagas.com, the Blood Sagas, Book 1, Blood and Loyalty by Brother Avery Brown. Do not forget that.
Yeah, this is only the first book, man. We got 3 to go. It's a 4-part series.
Absolutely. And all the way from Black 31 magazine, brother, we appreciate you. We appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you, King George, man. Stay up, bro. Keep winning.
You already know, man. Continue to keep that heart of gold, and blessings to you always, brother. So besides us, we're gonna be praying for you while you're in there, and then not only that, brother, we're gonna make sure that we continue to reach out to you, because we want to be a part of helping the system see that you are a positive brother, and you should be out on the streets teaching the young youth.
Okay, yeah, especially since I'm out there for something I didn't even do, but you know, better get rectified.
Absolutely, brother. Peace and love to you, brother. Appreciate you.
Same to you, bro. All
right, peace.
This time we gon' really do it for the black race. This time we gon' really do it, seek a better way. Gotta keep the faith, I gotta keep the faith. This time we gon' really do it for the black race. This time we gon' really do it for the black race. This time we gon' really do it, seek a better way.
Seek a better way. See, in these times, you know, you have to elevate your mental to a different plateau, so people can understand and feel the words coming from deep within. This is deep rooted, it come from the soul. Yeah, and you already know. Reality